This is Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Zarathustra's Speeches. Part 1, on the Three Metamorphoses. Of three metamorphoses of the spirit I tell you, how the spirit becomes a camel, and the camel a lion, and the lion finally a child. There's much that is difficult for the spirit, the strong, reverent spirit that would bear much, but the difficult and the most difficult are what its strength demands. What is difficult? Asks the spirit, that would bear much, and kneels down like a camel, wanting to be well loaded. What is most difficult, O heroes? Asks the spirit, that would bear much, that I may take it upon myself and exult in my strength. Is it not humbling oneself to wound one's haughtiness, letting one's folly shine to mock one's wisdom? Or is it this, parting from our cause when it triumphs, climbing high mountains to tempt the tempter? Or is it this, feeding on the acorns in the grass of knowledge for the sake of the truth, suffering hunger in one's soul? Or is it this, being sick and sending home the comforters and making friends with the deaf who never hear what you want? Or is it this, stepping into filthy waters when they are the waters of truth and not, repulsing cold frogs and hot toads? Or is it this, loving those who despise us and offering a hand to the ghost who would frighten us? All these most difficult things the spirit that would bear much takes upon itself. Like the camel that, burdened, speeds into the desert, thus the spirit speeds into its desert. In the loneliest desert, however, a second metamorphosis occurs. Here the spirit becomes a lion who would conquer his freedom and be the master of his own desert. Here he seeks out his last master. He wants to fight himself and his last god for ultimate victory. He wants to fight with the great dragon. Who is the great dragon whom the spirit will no longer call Lord and God? Thou shalt is the name of the great dragon, but the spirit of the lion says, I will. Thou shalt lies in his way, sparkling like gold, an animal covered with scales. On every scale shines a golden thou shalt. Thousands and thousands of years old shine on these scales, and thus speaks the mightiest of all dragons. All value of all things shines on me. All value has long been created. I am all created value. Verily, there shall be no more I will. Thus speaks the dragon. My brothers, why is there a need in the spirit for the lion? Why is it not the beast of burden, which renounces and is reverent enough? To create new values that even the lion cannot do, but the creation of freedom for oneself, for new creation, that is within the power of the lion. The creation of freedom for oneself and a sacred no, even to duty. For that, my brothers, the lion is needed. To assume the right to new values, that is the most terrifying assumption for a reverent spirit that would bear much. Verily to him it is praying, and a matter for a beast of prey. He once loved thou shalt as most sacred. Now he must find illusion and caprice in the most sacred, that freedom from his love may become his prey. The lion is needed for such prey. But say, my brothers, what can a child do that even the lion cannot do? Why must the preying lion still become a child? The child is innocence, forgetting, a new beginning, a game, a self-propelled wheel, a first movement, a sacred yes. For the game of creation, my brothers, a sacred yes is needed. The spirit now wills his own mind, and he who had been lost to the world now conquers his own world. Of the three metamorphoses of the spirit I've told you, how the spirit became a camel, and the camel a lion, and the lion finally a child. Thus spoke Zarathustra. And at the time he sojourned in the town that is called Motley Cow.